So, throwing is only called throwing for that one act, and no other. It should be called spinning, in my opinion, but it's not. So, we chuck the clay down at the wheel pretty hard, and you want the clay to stick. You're recording me.
We're all gonna watch her. That's
Only I won't do anything with this but for us, I promise.
Okay. All right.
This is our
Pressure's
notes over
on.
This is our notes.
Easy notes.
Okay.
Technology.
Don't swear.
Oh shit, I don't know.
Cliff notes.
Okay, so we throw the clay down. It has to stick. So if you're just like, it's not. You gotta mean it. You gotta really want it to stick. So throw it down like you mean it. And notice that I I started with a ball of clay and not like this shape or some other weird shape. It's just gonna make your life easier. Always start with a sphere. So we throw it down, we make sure it's stuck, and then just to make sure, especially if you're throwing larger, this is really handy. Start your wheel off really slow. Oh, actually, no water. And use this part of your palms right here. And just give it a few taps. And that's just gonna make sure it's really stuck on there. If I'm throwing a big chunk of clay, I always do that. Because no matter how hard you think you threw it down, it can pop back off at you. And if that happens, welcome to the club, because it happens to everybody at least once. Okay, so when you are putting water on the clay, please, and I usually see kids doing this, I feel like it's just intuitive for some reason, but don't like cup water and then like dump it on the clay. Yes, we have splash pans here, but a little goal that you should all have in the back of your head is to not fill them with water. Like, the less amount of water in those splash pans, the better. Although, if you find that you are just using a ton of water, whatever, that's fine, go for it, no shame. It's all good. But when you are putting water on the clay, just dip your hands in and touch the clay.
Your whole palm, it looked like you were just doing your fingers.
Well, so this bowl is really small, but ideally,
Do you want this one?
It's okay. Ideally, I would go all the way up to my
Okay.
wrist. So like, go like that and then touch the clay.
Both hands. You do both hands?
Yep, you can do both
I
hands.
can back
So you'll see that, like, you'll feel the friction, you'll feel the heat, like, once you run out of water, and the clay will tell you when you need more. It'll be like, feel like sandpaper, and you'll be like, ow. So that's when you need more water. So the first step to throwing is centering. And this is the hardest part for most people, so I'm sorry that it's the first part. But it's so important. It's the most important part, in my opinion, because if you cannot center, you can't do anything else. So we're gonna break the throwing process up into chunks, and we're gonna start with centering, and we're gonna nail it, and then we're gonna move forward. And I think that this is the easiest way to learn as a beginner, because if you see the whole process at once, it's like, can we go back to step one, because I don't remember anything. So we'll break it up. So to center, you want your wheel to be going at full speed. This might freak you out a little bit. It freaked me out a little bit when I first started, but it has to be going as fast as possible. If it's going too slow, it's not going to work, and you're going to hate it. So just go for it and go as fast as you can. There are 2 hand positions that you can try out. I mean, there's a million hand positions, but these are the 2 that I like to start with. This is the one that I usually go to. I take my left hand and it's wide open like that, and I make a fist with my right hand, and I kind of combine them right about here. And so what that's doing is I'm going to be pushing in with my left hand and down with my right hand, but I'm alternating when I'm doing the pressure. So for example, pushing in, backing off, this is the only part that touched the clay. Right? Pushing in, backing off. That's it.
But what is your right hand actually doing anything?
It will. But for now,
Okay. So it's the left that's open. The
Right.
left is open, your right
Yep.
isn't.
so I'm pushing in, backing off. The trick is also to not like have your hands like a lot of people. They're just like, and I get it. I've been there. I'm not shaming anyone. Like that was me too, but that's not what we have to do. It's very simple gestures. It doesn't have to be like a crazy thing. So you just kind of push in and back off, and then you go down. So this hand is hanging out on the side, but it's really not doing much. So I'm gonna push down and back off. Okay. You'll also notice that I tend to wash my hands a lot and get all of this mud off my hands. And that is because it's distracting. If you have a lot of like slip, and slip is like mud essentially. If you have a lot of slip on your hands, you can't really feel what's happening to the actual clay that you're working with. You just want water on your hands. So I would suggest trying to keep your hands really clean. I think a lot of people like to get really like dirty and like full of clay. I don't know, it's cool, and it is cool, but it's not gonna help you. Like it's probably gonna help you if you're cleaner. So again, we're gonna push in, back off, push down, back off. Okay? And I'm really segmenting the steps for you. If you ever watch me throw, this is not what I do. I've kind of like created like a more fluid thing, which will happen, but for now we're just gonna keep it more regimented for the learning process. So I'm pushing in and down.
And are you applying a ton of pressure? You look like it. Your hands look like it.
Not really.
No?
That really depends on the like wetness of the clay. If your clay is a little more dry, like that clay you were showing me before, I would really be pushing. But this clay isn't too bad. I'm not pushing too much. So pushing in, pushing down, in, down. So like my hands are staying in the same spots, you know, they're still connected here, but I'm just alternating where the pressure is. The other option that I will provide is coning, which is much more familiar. I'm gonna get it off center, so start over again. That's fine. So for coning, I'm gonna have my hands instead of like this, just like this. And I like to start right at the base in front, and I'm gonna push forward and up. So think this motion, okay? Forward and up. We have a cone.
It's too easy.
Yeah, it can't be that easy.
It can't be that easy.
How do you know when you're in the center? I guess it just.
I will get there, and that is a wonderful question. So we have a cone, and to bring the cone down, you can just take one of your thumbs or both of your thumbs. I prefer one. Oop. And you're just gonna kind of push down, or you can use like a karate chop. I like to teach the kids the karate chop. Just kind of push down. Now you'll notice that I'm primarily working like right here. I'm not working up here or over here. I'm working in one section of the clay, and how do I explain this? I feel like something that took me a while to like fully understand is like we're working with this motion, so like work smart with that motion. You know, like if I hang out here, I'm gonna get all of the sides and everything, obviously. So don't worry about working over here. Like just focus on this one spot. That might, I don't know, that seemed to like simplify it more for me and make more sense. It's a different perspective. But we'll cone up again. So we're moving forward. If you get this little like divot, that happens a lot, just take your finger and push it down. Kind of push it back in. Also with coning, you don't have to go all the way up. It doesn't have to look like a cone. just like a verb, like coning, but it doesn't have to look like a cone every single time.
So I thought the whole thing was make sure it looked like a large phallic symbol.
That's, yes.
Is that what you're gonna be making today?
You bet. I saw Dancing with the Stars last night, you know. Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. So, yes, that is one method. So this is a cone. Then we're gonna cone down, which I'm actually just pushing forward. My clay is falling apart. See, I just prefer to use my fist like that. Works better for me. Alright, so to tell when you're done centering, your clay should look like it's not moving. And it should be in a patty shape. So like squat and wide, kind of like this. This is what we're aiming for. But this is not centered. It's pretty close, but it's not quite there.
I was gonna say it looks like it's moving a little bit.
Right, exactly. So it should really look like it's not moving at all. And even more so than the way it looks, it would be helpful to like either close your eyes or look away and just feel the clay. And if you can have both of your hands on top and it's not moving underneath your hands, that's more accurate than the way it looks. Eyes can be deceiving sometimes. I would say that it's, go by, it shouldn't feel like it's moving. So I'm gonna actually center this now.
So because it's not centered, you do the whole process again. You push it in and up and back down.
Yep.
So you can't try to make it like that. You can't try to fix that. You have to do it all over.
No, you can.
Yeah, she's doing it now. You know what I mean? Like this, but you want to make sure that you get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's constant fixing it until you get
Right.
it.
But it looks like she's making it into a cone again.
Oh.
So
that's what you're saying.
I'm doing that first
She's doing
process, the one with the open hand. Although I tend to like have my hand closed. These fingers aren't doing anything; they're just kind of there. But I'll keep them back. So pushing in, backing off, and pushing down. See that bubble? Pop it. Just if you get a bubble like that, don't even acknowledge. Just let it go, and it usually pops. So I'm pushing up, and then I'm pushing down. Up again, and I'm trying to get it into that patty shape that we want. And that's pretty centered. It doesn't look like it's
When
moving.
it's spinning, you see like any ridges. I mean, at least,
Yeah.
like it looks like it's just sitting
Yeah.
there.
Right.
You
It's
can
like the
feel
middle's
it though
not
too.
moving.
Yeah, because like
Right.
when you can feel it, like your
You can
hands are
feel
like
it.
moo.
Right.
Like it's weird.
So that's as far as I want to go for the first demo, and then once we all